Tonight, beginning to open up.
As we go back to work and get this economy moving and get more people working, that we do it carefully.
What's next as phase one of taking back the economy begins tomorrow? Also, pedal to the metal. The startling number of drivers caught going more than 20 miles per hour above the speed limit in just a few weeks' time. 50th anniversary.
And when you pit Americans against one another, that is just a recipe for tragedy.
Remembering the Kent State shootings 5 decades later, how you can take a trip back in time without leaving your home. And desperate to open.
This has been my dream since I was 15.
The inventive ways local businesses are banding together to safely reopen.
From the WKYC studios, this is What's Next.
Good evening. I'm Russ Mitchell in the WKYC studios.
And I'm Sarah Schuckman joining you from home tonight. It is almost Friday. Let's get you caught up on today's headlines. Dr. Anthony Fauci says he expects the FDA to approve the use of an existing antiviral drug that showed promising signs in clinical trials treating patients with COVID-19. He anticipates the go-ahead for emergency use of remdesivir to happen really quickly. 2 months after its peak number of cases today, South Korea reported no new domestic coronavirus patients for the first time. 4 new infections all came from outside the country. And today, Apple released a software update made for mask wearing. All you need to do is swipe up and you will skip the Face ID display and instead enter a code to unlock your phone.
The health of every person who is in Ohio is significant. And certainly when we have a virus, one person's health obviously impacts other people's health.
The countdown is on to reopening the state. In just hours, phase one begins. At the same time, Governor DeWine says the stay-at-home order is being extended. Laura Queso has details.
Friday, May 1st, tomorrow, a big day for the state of Ohio. It's the day the state's economy starts reopening. It's also the day that the state's second stay-at-home order was set to expire at 11:59 p.m. But not so fast. We've learned today the stay-at-home order is being extended with exceptions, and there's no date yet.
A stay-at-home order will be extended with the exceptions when retail opens up. That certainly will be a major exception for that. It certainly is an exception just in a few days when manufacturing and other companies are allowed to start back, those that had already started. So it will be extended.
The governor is set to release more information about the specific date of the order Friday.
Try to go back to work, and as we go back to work and get this economy moving and get more people working, that we do it carefully.
And that's why the governor says he's reopening in phases. Tomorrow, all healthcare procedures that do not require an overnight stay at the hospital can move forward. Dentists and veterinarians can open their doors. Fast forward to May 4th. Manufacturing, distribution, and construction companies will reopen, along with general office environments. And May 12th. Consumer retail and services will be allowed to reopen. This does not include gyms, restaurants, bars, and salons. And while the state moves forward, the governor said Ohioans must continue to stop the spread.
Social distancing is really the key to about everything.
Now, all Ohio businesses must follow strict guidelines. As we've been talking, employees at Ohio businesses must wear face coverings. There are some exceptions. Customers are not required to wear face coverings, but it is strongly suggested by state leaders. As far as that extended stay-at-home order, stay with us for updates. Laura Queso, 3 News.
Well, unemployment numbers continue to climb here in Ohio and across the country. Nationwide, 30 million people are now out of work, losing their jobs in just the last 6 weeks. That is nearly 20% of the workforce. And just over 1 million of those people are Ohioans. Those losses wipe out all the jobs added to the U.S. economy since 2010. And here in Ohio, there are still problems with people trying to apply for unemployment benefits. The state added 1,600 call center agents since March to handle the volume of calls. It has also invested millions of dollars to upgrade its technology. But for many, it's simply not enough.
Sometimes it just literally hangs up on you. It just disconnects you.
State officials say despite their best efforts to update this aged system, the system is remaining overwhelmed at this point. They have already sent benefit checks to about 500,000 people. Well, hundreds of people showed up outside of Michigan's state capitol today to protest the governor's efforts to extend the state of emergency there until May 28th. Hundreds of them pushed their way inside into the gallery. Lawmakers ultimately voted the measure down. Now, this does not affect Michigan's current stay-at-home order, which expires on May 15th.
Tonight, 3 News has obtained a list of 837 medically vulnerable inmates at Elkton Federal Prison. Among them, former Cuyahoga County Commissioner Jimmy DeMora. DeMora is serving a 28-year sentence on corruption charges. Last week, a federal judge ordered the prison to identify inmates over 65 and those at risk for coronavirus. DeMora, along with hundreds more, potentially could be transferred, sent to home confinement, and in rare cases released. 3 News spoke with the family of one of those inmates.
His safety is my main concern. I would love for him to be considered for the home confinement. Being that he's a nonviolent offender and he has less than 16 months left, and then with the medical condition.
Federal prosecutors have filed an appeal to stop any moves. The coronavirus outbreak has made the roads less safe. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says there are a lot of leadfoots out there, thinking it's okay to speed because traffic is light. We are told they've busted more than 1,000 speeders who were going at least 20 miles per hour over the limit. 200 more were clocked going at least 100 miles per hour.
We're still seeing some of those violations that are 20 plus over the speed limit up into triple digits. Those are starting to increase, and it was a little alarming, and we're still conducting traffic stops with those individuals. It's more noticeable because of the less traffic on the roadway. Some of these individuals really stick out more than others.
Troopers say you better slow down, and soon more will be on the roads as the state reopens.
Well, you can't go yet, but leaders at Put-in-Bay say they are planning to open for the summer season. Supplies are being brought over to South Bass Island right now. And as long as Ohio's stay-at-home order is in effect, the docks, state parks, restaurants, bars, and hotels in Put-in-Bay are closed. If you are itching to go fishing this weekend, though, it might be a good time to get out the rod and reel. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources says starting tomorrow, Lake Erie fishing guides will be back taking customers out on the water. And those using a guide are reminded to follow social distancing requirements even while they're out.
Monday marks 50 years since the Kent State shootings. Because of the current state of the world, that day is being commemorated differently this year. Andrew Horansky takes a look.
On this day 50 years ago, protests were breaking out across the country over the U.S. invasion of Cambodia, and Kent State quickly became a hotspot when the National Guard was called to control crowds.
And when you pit Americans against one another, that is just a recipe for tragedy.
Activist Chick Kanfora was there when the Guard opened fire on Monday, May 4th. Killing 4 students and injuring 9 others, some simply passing by.
I don't think any of us ever forget the sights and the sounds of gunfire.
A moment the rest of us can now process in augmented reality.
So it looks like right now we are about here.
You're essentially traveling back 50 years and living the history that happened in May 4, 1970.
Professor Rick Fertig developed an app for phone and web that resembles Pokemon Go. Simply visit one of Kent's 7 hotspots, hold up your phone.
You can actually see a digital overlay on top of your real-world experience.
Comparing now to then, an audio tour enhancing the experience.
On May 4th, 1970, 28 guardsmen turned directly in front of the pagoda and fired 67 shots into the Prentice Hall parking lot, killing 4 students and injuring 9 others.
All of it leading up to the 50-year milestone happening on Monday. Now, the campus has been closed for several weeks, and visitors are still discouraged from coming here. In fact, roads will be closed in the coming days. Everything you saw on our phone, you can see on your computer, 360-degree windows, audio too. We have a link at WKYC.com. Reporting in Kent tonight, I'm Andrew Horansky, 3 News.
And over the next few days, Andrew will have more on Kent State 50 years later. Tomorrow night, a first-hand account from those who were there.
Bio, James Albert, Private First Class, U.S. Army.
Members of the Vietnam Veterans Association Chapter 15 gathered on Cleveland's Mall A today to remember those who died in the war. On this day in 1975, Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, was captured by the People's Army and the Viet Cong. That event marked the end of what is now considered the second longest war in American history after Afghanistan. Coming up tonight, are you ready to work out again? We'll tell you what some businesses are doing to open back up quickly and safely. Betsy, May 1st tomorrow. Sounds good.
Let's get to it, please, because April has been so April. For whatever reason, it's just been the longest April ever. Well, things are going to start to brighten up as we start May, and boy, what a first weekend we're going to have. We'll talk all about it in your forecast next.
What's Next is sponsored by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
A group of local indoor recreation and entertainment businesses have banded together to come up with reopening plans. But as Will Ewick tells us, the wait has not been easy.
I hate being in this place and not having it full. This has been my dream since I was 15.
It's been an emotional time for Maureen Epic. She's been teaching gymnastics since she was 15 years old, but has been away from tutoring her kids for over a month after Jumpstart Gymnastics was forced to close on March 13th.
The unique challenge to gymnastics especially is you can't be hands-off. It's not a class. It's not what it is.
With Jumpstart Gymnastics closed, Maureen and her crew made use of the time by cleaning and sanitizing the entire gym from floor to ceiling, including taking out over 13,000 foam cubes, sanitizing them each by hand, vacuuming out the pit, and then putting them back in. The next step for her was figuring out how to interweave these state guidelines for her reopening.
We took what was available, what's currently happening, and our best guesstimations on how we can do that plus more.
Maureen organized a group of 18 local businesses, from gyms and fitness centers to dance studios and entertainment facilities, to brainstorm and come up with a plan.
We're better when we collaborate. We're all in this together, as everyone keeps saying. So why not reach out to places just like us to see what they're doing and share our best practices and hear them. Maybe they're doing something better that we could use here at Adrenaline Monkey.
The group discussed screening and temperature taking at the entrance, limiting capacity to 50%, having only 6 clients per instructor, and much more.
I think everybody got something to make them better.
Their next step is reaching out to clients to hear their concerns and make sure they're addressing them before they reopen.
We're left planning without plans.
Whenever that may be.
We all have clean facilities now. We're all getting everything ready with our sanitation and our check-in policies and all that.
Will Ewick.
Now we're just waiting.
3 News.
The Air Force will be paying special tribute to the workers on the front lines of the pandemic. The 910th Airlift Wing will take part in the Heroes Over America salute on Monday morning. And thousands of healthcare workers, essential employees, and other first responders will be treated to a salute flyover. Cleveland's medical centers will be first, then on to Akron, Canton, and the Youngstown area sometime Monday morning. Well, tonight we want to give a senior shout out to Cade Speedy. Cade is a senior at Manchester High School, which makes this alumna beam with Panther pride. Cade was a member of the golf team and already enrolled in college courses this year. He'll continue at Stark State next fall. Help us shine a light on your senior. Go to WKYC.com/senior shoutouts.
Wow, respect to Kate and a Manchester High School shout out as well. Sarah Schuckman, you got it all in there.
You like that?
Fantastic. It is now 11:16. Betsy Kling, I'm still waiting for some schools I applied to get back to me all these years later. They did not. Did you pretty much know you wanted to go to Bowling Green when you graduated high school?
I had no idea.
Really?
I went to Bowling Green because I was going to run track and I was going to be a 4th grade teacher.
Uh-huh. Here you are.
And things changed. It's the way it is. Once you go in with a plan, sometimes things do come out different, and it's just fine. Don't fret over that. Cloudy and cool with a few showers. Speaking of things going, a little bit off plan every now and then, weather perfect for that. The few showers are going to linger in the morning, but in the afternoon, we will see clearing conditions, and once the sun comes out, temperatures are going to start to pop, and we should make it into the 50s. That being said, right now, we are still stuck with showers, and cool showers at that. What a cool radar picture to show you. I know it doesn't look very exciting. There's no bright, brilliant colors or thunderstorms or anything like that. But notice how the showers are coming from north to south out of Detroit down toward Toledo and over to Sandusky, and then scooping west to east here across the US 30 corridor, and then out by the state line going back to the north. We have an area of low pressure right overhead. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it basically means the storm system is working its way through very slowly, but very surely. And so our pressure is low right now. Those of you who have migraines and aches and pains as we go into tomorrow and then especially Saturday, it's typically when we go from low to high pressure that's when things start to get a little achy and creaky. So just be advised, you may be feeling that. But once we do get that sunshine tomorrow afternoon and then again on Saturday with a nice southerly breeze, we're going to see the temperatures really going up. Right now we're stuck in the 40s, which is pretty much where we've been all evening. There's a look at the bigger picture. Our swirling storm system passing through northeast Ohio. You can see it here on the surface wind map too. And then the heavy rain is now out to the east on the east coast. All of this is moving eastbound. As it does so, look at the clearing line that is also coming along with it. So this too will be swinging into northeast Ohio, especially as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. So let's show it to you. Your National Design-Mar hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures will be chilly tomorrow morning. Upper 30s, low 40s likely, and we will have a few showers around. We're stuck with the clouds, unfortunately. Lake Erie, the upper lake's going to provide a little extra moisture. So that clearing line is going to be slow to go, unfortunately. But once it does get in here, it should be pretty rapid from west to east, and it looks like that should happen mid to late afternoon. Note the temperature difference. Sandusky seeing sunshine at 3 p.m. in the mid-50s, still in the mid and upper 40s at the state line area as the clouds are in place. But once the sun comes out, the temperatures start to go up, even in the late afternoon. The spring sun is very strong, and so we will continue with mostly clear skies through the evening. Beautiful evening, albeit chilly, setting up, and then we stay partly cloudy as we go through the night tomorrow night. All right, winds then change around to the south. That immediately starts to bring some warmer air in for Saturday. Saturday is a little tricky. I think we're going to have high clouds to start. That's not a bad thing. And as the day goes on, the clouds will thicken. That being said, there you see it. The temperatures, thanks to those southerly breezes, will still nicely make it into the upper 60s, and any additional sunshine we get could push us up into the 70s in some locations. Saturday looks stellar. Saturday night, then, we may have some showers that pass through, and then Sunday, we're going to continue our chances for some scattered showers and storms. 50s with sprinkles lingering for the start of the day tomorrow, but look at when the 50s happen. Again, mid to late afternoon as soon as that sun pops out. Here's your Universal Windows Direct forecast. Upper 60s to around 70 on Saturday. Again, this is sunshine dependent, and I think we will see some sunshine. We'll be up around 70 then, with thunderstorms arriving, especially a late day on Sunday. That'll knock us back then as we head through next week. Scattered shower chances, a little unsettled, but the temperatures, unfortunately, still about 10 degrees below average next week, only in the upper 50s. It's going to happen soon, Russ. It's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll take it. Thanks, Miss Kling. Coming up, look at this. We have a sport that is announced when it will return, and it may be sooner than you think. Jimmy's down on the farm with more. Stay with us.
This sports report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Serra Auto Park in Akron.
Hi, everybody. Sports headlines on this Thursday night. Sports trying to get back. How about NASCAR? They say we're coming back. They're going to race on May 17th. They're going to do it in Darlington Speedway in South Carolina. And so they dropped the green flag, and they're going to go take hot laps and all kinds of laps. NASCAR is coming back. And now the NHL is trying to come back. They sent out a memo to their players and teams late last night. Things could pick up in May. Teams could reopen training in mid to late May. And if that happened, a late June or July window to restart in a perfect world. The league wants to finish the regular season. Each team has about a dozen games left to go and then have the playoffs. They want to crown a Stanley Cup champion. And the NBA, how could they resume? How about by taking the entire league to Disney World down in Florida? All 30 teams would either go there, or at least if they just start up with the playoffs, the 16 qualifying teams. Why down there? Well, they have the facilities, multiple courts, hotels close to the Orlando Magic facilities. No fans would be allowed in. And incidentally, at NASCAR, no fans will be allowed in. Games would all be televised. It was proposed to the NBA Board of Governors by Disney chairman Bob Iger. Now to the NFL. News there today from Cincinnati, and it's a big one. Andy Dalton, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, was cut by the team today. And of course, a week ago, they took Joe Burrow as the #1 overall selection. By cutting Dalton, the Bengals will save $17.7 million under the salary cap. The red rifle, because of that red hair he wears under the Bengal helmet, he's going to get a job, maybe New England, maybe Jacksonville. Speaking of getting a job, and I am really happy to report, Teddy Ginn Jr. does it again. He is staying in the NFL for his 14th season as a returner and a very, very fast wide receiver. Teddy Ginn Jr. signs a one-year deal with the Chicago Bears. He's got 42 career touchdowns. A guy we have watched grow up right in front of our eyes. Good for him. I know the Ginn family is happy, and so are all of us. Russ?
Lots of smiles. Yes, you guys go way back, Jimmy. Thanks for the perspective.
Absolutely.
All right.
You got it.
Have a great night. And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Here are 3 signs of hope for Friday. As masks become more a part of our everyday lives, many of us are noticing they can be a pain behind the ears. Olivia Bruckman, a 4th grader from Medina, and her mom Jenna are sharing their solution. Just use a hairband with plastic marbles on the ends, pulling it through the loops of the mask, one on each side, to alleviate the pressure. The pair even shared this video online to show how it's done. While much of the recent restaurant news has been about eateries closing their doors, at least one local favorite is planning on expanding. Barrio Tacos announced today it'll be setting up shop in North Olmsted. That will be the 10th Barrio Tacos location, with another one planned in Strongsville by July. And there is such a thing as free lunch tomorrow. Thanks to native musician Machine Gun Kelly, the rapper will feed the city tomorrow, offering 1 free complimentary meal per person at a variety of restaurants around the city. Of course, that's for takeout only, and it starts at noon. 9 different spots around town participating with that tomorrow. Pretty cool of MGK, and will certainly make a lot of people's Fridays, Russ.
Certainly, Sarah. Thanks a lot. You have a great night. We invite you to home to tune into 3 News Go. It begins at 4:30 a.m. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.
Thank you for spending the evening with us. 3 News, the most watched late news in Northeast Ohio.